Etiket.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a while since you've been here.
Yes.
I think we launched with GliSODin a few years ago, and you know, we've watched what's happened with the brand with us as our customers have learned about it, learned about nutraceuticals, but we wanted to talk today to go back to it.
Yeah.
Because we've had a lot of questions. I think, you know, there's a lot of new customers that we have who are asking what is it and how did it start? So maybe we could start with that.
So GliSODin Skin Nutrients is a professional nutricosmetic line, which just simply means it's a supplement for the skin and for cosmetic reasons.
Right. So instead of putting it on our skin, we're going to take it internally.
We're taking it internally.
Right.
And it basically came about because I found all the amazing research based on GliSODin and what it did internally, and I met my business partner, Francois Vix, who was in the dermatology industry for a very long time. And in Canada at that time, no one was professionally making a nutricosmetic, so there was a huge opportunity and a big gap in our country for internal skincare. So when we met, it just kind of was like the perfect thing to do. Yeah.
So what's GliSODin?
GliSODin is a melon extract that's very rich in an enzyme called superoxide dismutase, so otherwise called SOD.
SOD, okay.
And SOD is part of our immune system. It's the first thing that targets free radicals to stop the inflammation cascade.
Okay, inflammation. So that's the word we're all hearing about, and free radicals. So what does that mean? Like what, to me, I'm like free radicals, inflammation. I think inflammation, like, am I getting red?
Yeah.
What's
maybe.
it? Yeah, maybe, right?
So free radicals are essentially harmful substances in the body. They're different kinds, but they essentially are missing an electron.
Right.
So what they're trying to do is go and steal an electron from something else. So this creates a lot of damage and harm in the body. When there are too many free radicals and not enough antioxidants, because antioxidants essentially target free radicals, there is an accumulation of free radicals which causes oxidative stress. And oxidative stress simply means too many free radicals, not enough antioxidants, and this is what starts the inflammation cascade. So this is kind of like where you want to go first before the inflammation starts. It's kind of like that basic maintenance. And inflammation is, you know, it's everything. It's all types of diseases. In our skin, it's what causes wrinkles, pigmentation, acne, all of it. So it's really if you can kind of control inflammation in the body, it's really the foundation to all anti-aging treatments.
So what we're saying is this supplement, GliSODin, is going to be in addition to what we're using in our skincare.
Absolutely.
Because most of us just think, okay, I'll put it on my skin and that's enough. But we're saying, no, this is another way to get deeper.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, our skin cells start from the inside.
Right.
And all of these processes start on the inside. So for a nutritionist and someone that looks at these types of things, it only makes sense that you treat that component of the skin as well. So we definitely say still use your topical products, still do your treatments, still do everything else. But this is the synergy of all of them together. You're going to get much different results.
Right. And GliSODin it's all natural?
It's all natural. It's derived from a melon that's grown in the south of France.
Right, so we want to visit that factory.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And it's all Health Canada approved, so we're under a natural health product in Canada, and we have our approval from Health Canada as well.
So there's different products within the brand.
Yeah.
So there's a cleansing, there's a slimming, there's the dermal, there's brightening, which I take, there's a diuretic, and there's an antioxidant that's the pure form of GliSODin.
Yeah.
So some of them to me seem pretty obvious. Cleansing is where I'm going to start. Yeah. Right? Which I'd like to start right now. The slimming is, I know what that's all about. Yeah. But if I'm going to, where does somebody start, and how do we know that we're getting the right information?
Sure. It really depends on what you're trying to target. So you kind of have to think of it similarly as you would the topicals. So if your skin is dry, you would go on like maybe a hyaluronic serum and then a strong moisturizer, and cleansing is always part of it, right? So ingestibles, the way we formulate it, is a very similar process as well. So the dermal is more for a general anti-aging product for the skin. So basically, as you age, things start to deplete, and this product fortifies that so it doesn't happen as quickly. It's super hydrating. It's a beautiful product for just general maintenance of the skin.
Okay.
Where the brightening was more specific for pigmentation issues. Right. It's amazing for people that have acne as well, even though it wasn't necessarily formulated that way. Just over 10 years of experience of looking at what the product does, it's been significantly used for that, especially in younger people.
Sorry to interrupt, but so you've been around for 10 years.
10 years.
So this isn't something new.
No.
We've been around for 6 years, but we haven't had the brand for that long. But it's been around, so you...
10 years, yeah. So 10 years, tons of clinical work done. We are technically a professional product, so we are sold to, in establishments like yourselves,
right,
and dermatologists and plastic surgeons and other cosmetic physicians, so it's backed by physicians as well.
Right, so there's really a science behind it, because there's so much on the market. I mean, we see that in natural skincare as much as anything else, so that we know that there's something serious behind it.
Absolutely.
Because I think when we're putting it in our bodies, we want to make sure that we know what we're putting it in.
And when I formulated, I looked very specifically at this, because a lot of vitamins and minerals don't necessarily get to the skin.
Right.
But we formulated with nutriceuticals, which are active components of plant and food. So they have a very specific function in the body, and a lot of them are, the ones that we use are for skin.
Right.
So the efficacy of our product is definitely there. And that's why it's backed by physicians too. If they didn't see that it worked, then they wouldn't sell it. Yeah.
So, people ask the question, how do I know it's working? Now, we were talking earlier that I ran out of my brightening, I stopped taking it for a while, and I noticed something different. So I know it works. It's not always something I see necessarily in the mirror, and I take care of my skin, and I try to eat well, and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
But, that's a question that comes around, like, well, how do I know this is doing something, right?
Well, if you're treating something specifically, you'll know.
Right.
Especially pigmentation, acne. If someone's really dehydrated, the dermal will get rid of that very quickly. So if you're treating something specifically, you'll see the transition. We typically recommend 2 to 3 months.
Right.
You should start seeing something in about anywhere between 2 and 4 weeks, but because you want to go through a few skin cycles, which are 28 days, we recommend you go through a few skin cycles to really see the healthy cells come externally out. And most of the time when people are off of it, or they're on it for a while, they forget where they were at baseline. So if they stop taking it, like your story, then they actually see, they start to go back to baseline, so they can actually see the difference in their skin.
So in that respect, it's similar to skincare, because people say, well, if I stop using it, well, then you'll stop seeing the results, right?
100%.
If you're not putting a serum on, you're going to stop seeing the results. It's not changing. It changes as long as we're using it. So is it something we need to keep taking?
Absolutely.
Okay.
If you don't have the nutrients, you don't have the nutrients.
Right.
So it's a very similar, rationale as it would be topical. And in terms of efficacy of our product, we do have pretty significant before and after photos, especially with the Vectra system, which looks at kind of the brown and red parts of the skin. So red would be inflammation and brown would be hyperpigmentation. We did a clinical study with Dr. Corey Goldberg, and he only changed, the only thing that they did differently in their natural routine was they added our product.
Okay.
And you can see significant improvement after 3 months. The pictures are a little bit scary, but because everyone's brown and everyone's red, but they're pretty significant in what they do. Yeah.
Right. Now vitamins, that's the other question, is vitamins. Do I still take my vitamins, or this doesn't replace anything else? This is an addition to.
This is an addition to. So GliSODin and GliSODin Skin Nutrients are really combating overall aging, where vitamins and minerals are targeting maybe a deficiency in the body, so they work completely differently.
Okay.
So still take your multivitamins, still take your B vitamin if you want to. They work like, it's like oranges and apples, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then obviously keep using the skincare that you're using to treat
100%.
on the outside.
Yeah, you don't have to change anything like that.
All
Yeah.
right. Great.
Good,
Thank you.
no problem.